T, and if you watched my last video a couple weeks ago, or if you follow me on Snapchat / Instagram / Twitter, you know that I just came back from vacations. I did a 7-day Carnival cruise on the Carnival Fascination, which is a terrible, horrible boat. I made a good time of it because I make a good time of everything, but the boat sucked. It's dated, it's old, it's too small, it's boring. I had never done a cruise before, and I had never been to the Caribbean. So this was definitely a learning experience for me, which I want to come and give to y'all. This is specifically towards my type of travel, which is easy on the pockets, 0 F's given, big on the fun. So let's get started. The number one do for me, do read all of the embarkation papers and the entire website about your cruise ship. There's so much information. Example given. My cabin only had 1 outlet. Had I not read the embarkation papers, I would have never brought an extension cord and we would have been so freaking pissed. Do check the cruise event schedule. Now I can only speak for Carnival Cruise, but they have this really handy app. It basically tells you what's happening at all moments, all the time. I'm gonna throw this out there. Don't buy the alcohol package. Do buy the bottomless bubbles package that gives you endless juices and sodas, also known as chasers. I just don't think financially it's worth it. With Carnival Cruises, you have to buy the alcohol package for everyone in your cabin. I don't think I would get my money's worth out of a $400 drink package where 1, there's so many limitations, 2, I have to pay tax if I'm in port, and 3, your drinks are just not that good. They're very watered down. If you buy the bottomless bubbles, it ends up coming to like $80, I think, per person for a 7-day cruise. You then have endless chasers. Do smuggle on liquor. I use shampoo flasks. These ones are 16 ounces. And then I had some of these smaller ones. We actually bought a bottle through Carnival, just like you can buy bottles for your room. It was definitely overpriced, but we figured why not. The other thing I did to make my liquor smuggling easier, they have like custom cups, and I knew from the very beginning of my trip I wanted a custom cup. So this is my cheesy souvenir cup. Oh, I can't get this in. Oh, there we go. That's what she said. So I would go to my room, I would put vodka in it, like as much as I wanted. I would go to the bar and get like whatever juice or soda I wanted and then pour it directly in this cup at the bar. Do bring liquor back from the port. If you go into port and you want to bring liquor back, they say you can't, but they lie. Anything shaped like a liquor bottle, they pay attention to and they confiscate. What I discovered by accident actually is that water bottle shapes they seem to not care about. Buy a bottle of this, pour it inside a water bottle, close it up, put the water bottle in your bag, scan it through the ship, and they'll never know. Do read the forecast before you go. Despite the fact that I traveled in August, which is before hurricane season, I was still like super nervous because the forecast said rain for 7 days straight. So I made sure to bring some kind of sneakers and like an umbrella. I brought a couple ponchos. It only rained a couple times on the trip. There was a lot of people caught off guard, like in flip-flops that are slipping and sliding. I watched people break their flip-flops because, you know, them cheap old navy ones, those aren't made for the rain. The next don't is a little bit of a rant. Guys, if you know me, you know that I have a love and hate relationship with children. I love them. I used to be a teacher. I do well with them. I don't like bad children. Don't ruin my vacation because you got Tasmanian devil that you can't control, okay? It seems like all of the badass kids converge in one boat and all their parents are like, sure, go ahead, do whatever you want, little Billy, go ahead, just have fun. You bring your badass kid on a boat, I'm gonna yoke him up and put him on timeout. Those are your options. Do excursions, but don't do them through the cruise ship. Now, I know that some people don't want to put effort into their vacation, so it's easier just to pay whatever the cost is to do an excursion. A lot of the cruise ships just hire local companies to do it, but tack on $20 or $30 a person and pocket the rest as their profit. Actually, when I went to St. Lucia, we did zip lining in this like aerial tram. Hiring a taxi for the whole day that was in like a relatively big van was $100. It was more money, about like 20 or 30 bucks. Through the cruise line. On top of that, you're going with the bigger group, so you're waiting for this big group. Because we had rented our own taxi for the day, he took us around to all these other places. We finished ziplining. It's only like a 2 or 3 hour excursion, and he drove us around, drove us to the grocery store so we can get some like Caribbean things we wanted. We wanted Milo, which is like West Indian, like Ovaltine kind of, but tastes better. We went to this lookout point. We saw like the governor's house. We did all these extra things. We got a little mini tour of the island for less money. I wouldn't do a cruise excursion unless it was something like super like far out. Time-wise, the cruise guarantees you'll be back by the time of departure. If there's a giant landslide, you know you're gonna get yourself back on that boat. Do order multiple entrees. So this sounds really fat of me, but the portions, at least on Carnival cruises, were just so interesting. There's some things we'd order and it'd be really, really big, and then there'd be other things that'd be like the tiny, most minuscule thing. Dinner is seated dining. It's a 3-course meal, and the menu changes every day. So if there's 2 things you see, it might not be on the menu tomorrow, so go and order it. Do take early dining. Don't take any time dining. There's a 6 o'clock or 6:15 and then like an 8:15 dining. There's only a couple eateries, at least on that ship, that were 24 hours. So when we get back on the boat, we're starved. You can order room service, but the room service sucks. Their free room service options are terrible, and I don't want to spend money because I've already prepaid for food on this boat. Anytime dining that Carnival Cruise does, you basically come in and you see if you can be seated. We're watching people literally just lining up and waiting to see what open availability there are. Those are my cruise do's and don'ts. I probably missed like a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna start doing unlisted videos. I'll include a link at the bottom to subscribe to the mailing list for my website, because I think that's where I'm gonna start sending my unlisted videos. I'm just gonna send you guys an email with the link in there to the unlisted videos. Thanks so much, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye!